What's going on there, friends and neighbors? I am ShinRobjira, and for the first time since, what was it, Backstreet Boys? Yeah? No, was it Dear Boy? I'm not even sure. I'm talking about some freshly released music. Although this time, the freshly released music actually belongs to a friend of the channel, our boy Christian LeSurf. The boy Christian LeSurf has unleashed his debut EP, Asleep on the Back Benches. It's so weird because I remember doing the 1975 streams and I remember Christian's name popping up a whole lot during the stream. And I remember him saying, hey, I sent you some clips of some music I'm working on. And I remember listening to these clips and just thinking, ooh, okay. This is interesting. And to say that I was curious when he told me that he was working on an EP was very much a massive understatement. And finally today, here I am talking about this debut EP, and I gotta say, it's really good. Cheers, Christian. Seriously. So the EP opens up with this intro called Not God. Not God is this really moody, very aesthetically charged spoken word piece. And it's really beautiful, and that's not just in the words that are being spoken with this intro, but it's also the instrumentation that's backing it. It really just coats the back walls of everything that's being spoken, yet again with that very moody aesthetic feel to it. Very James Blake-esque. I hear a lot of James Blake on this EP. And I gotta say, Not God absolutely sets the tone to this EP very, very beautifully. I'm talking, oh yeah, that's amore. But then we move on to track 2, Wilted on Arrival. By name, I instantaneously thought James Blake. I don't know, that just sounds like the name of a song James Blake would make. That rhymed. I'm a poet, I didn't even know. When's my debut EP coming out? Ah! Wilted on Arrival yet again sounds and feels rather somber. And it has that very potent English vibe to it as well, which I dig. The crooning that Christian lets loose on this track impressed at first listen, and instantly I knew and felt where this dude was going, from my own perspective at least. Lyrically, the track is to a T relatable, and this track was very much a momentum stopper. It took me a while to move on from this song to the rest, and that trend doesn't stop with the whole EP. Every song was a momentum stopper, which is good. But just to put it on record, a very powerful opening with a powerful track following it, that is uber brownie points. And Christian absolutely deserves it. Track 3, Irene, my absolute favorite track off of this EP. This song's intro, it's just so very beautiful. It gives me the Cure vibes. Very mood swings the top Cure, which as we all know is some of the strangest Cure stuff that's ever been released. And when that intro started, I felt something. I don't know if it was winter or if it was spring or a weird mixture of the two, but I got a very familiar warmth and a very unknowing chill from this track. Just within the first couple of seconds, mind you. And boy, did those first couple of seconds, I want to say the first 40 seconds, oh man, did they take me out. And I had to rewind the track a couple of times to just snap up that feeling and turn it into a sketch, because that just instantaneously gave me the creator's bug. Now thankfully the rest of the song is just as beautiful. I do hear a mixture of inspiration here, but nothing too thick. It's not laid on like a thick paint or anything like that. Like you could tell where Christian's pulling inspiration from, but it's not becoming the sound, you know what I mean? Like not to the point of being a carbon copy. Christian hops in on the track about a minute in, and it's freaking magic. This kid obviously knows where he's going with this music, and it shows off a very mature tone to it as well. It doesn't have a lot of that wackiness that some debut releases have. Bubblegum Towns aside, Irene gave me that nostalgic feeling. And I just keep getting it. And Christian, I gotta say, you had me pretty anxious by the end of this song, because I honestly didn't think the beauty could be beat a second time. And then we move on to track 4, You and I. You and I starts off rather slow, but it wastes no time into kicking things into gear. Cutting right to brass tacks. Mumra and the temper trap really came to mind when this song started, especially with how the drumming and the ambience really fills the background as Christian's singing. Oof, I was hanging on every word you were singing, Christian. Every word. See, I know this dude through the internet. I barely know anything about him. But after hearing this song, and the 3 songs coming before it, I feel like I've known him my entire life. What a kicker of a track, man. Oofa. While Irene still holds my top number 1, You and I comes at a very, very close second. Then we come to track 5, Happy Static Endings Acoustic. What a bop. Christian sings a tad deeper on this track, and I like that. And it showcases a different side to his music than previously heard on the EP thus far. While the track is layered in different sounds, the core of it does remain acoustic and very, very beautiful. Oddly enough, this track reminds me of a series of books that was written by John Bellairs, the Johnny Dixon Mysteries. For anybody that knows? Anybody? I don't know why, it just has that very dreary time period-esque feel to it. I don't know why. Like I said, dreary, worn wallpaper, very loving, like very somewhat 1950s feel. I honestly can't explain it. That's the first thing that got cooked up in the weird noodle that I call my brain. And aside from that, this is a very visual track for a very minorly layered cut. Still fucking beautiful though. Just very domineering both vocally and instrumentally. And then we come to the final track, Bedroom Tapes. The final track separates itself from the EP just so very quickly. I thought Spotify honestly made a mistake, but they didn't. The ambience and the drum kicks, the way that they're arranged, here comes another weird thing that my mind cooked up. Hearing this track reminds me a lot of Code Lyoko. Bedroom Tapes kind of just goes beyond its namesake, and it feels more like a dreamland with washed colors. But within those two things, I feel like the track has somewhat of a sunny disposition at the same time. A sunny disposition that could honestly light an entire galaxy. It's weird, it's sad sounding, but it's bippy. It's boppy. It just feels good. But seriously though, massive Code Lyoko vibes. Anybody remember Code Lyoko? Am I old? Yeah. While no vocals are present on the track, I like that, just because I think if this track had vocals, it might have ruined the character and the charisma and the spirit that the track was sporting. That's just me. But just when I think the track can't surprise any longer, the song goes into this new wave moment right towards the end and just shuts the door on this EP so very softly. But, in technical speak, still ends the EP off with a bang. I'm gonna state this again. I don't know this dude personally. We talk from time to time. He sent me music. He told me, hey, my EP's out. Let me know what you think. Well, I'm letting you know what I think, dude. And in all honesty, this EP is really, really good. Asleep on the Backbenches is an absolute beauty from tracks 1 to 6. And the EP overall, I mean, for a debut EP, it boasts a lot of musical prow. A musical prow that dances against the different genres that it grazes and mingles with. And that makes this EP a very fun and a very adventurous one. Again, for a debut, that's really impressive. And to be completely honest, listening to this EP as much as I have, that's already jump-started the thoughts for what Christian is going to do for release number 2. As my ear can hear, this EP fits very well together. It showcases different sides of Christian as an artist, and everything just meshes like a really supreme grandfather clock and tells the time to pinpoint accuracy. Christian LeSurf, thank you so very much for bringing this EP to my attention. Thank you for showing me songs back when they were barely minute-long little clips. I've extremely enjoyed this EP, and if you're watching this video, I have a feeling you'll enjoy it too. Especially if you're a fan of James Blake. I'm going to give Asleep on the Backbenches a 5 out of 5 rating, and if you'd like to hear this EP for yourself, there will be a link in the description below to Spotify. You can stream it for free, you can sample as much as you want from it. And Christian, I gotta say, this EP is definitely going to be one of my major favorites of the year. I'm not saying this to blow smoke up your ass or anything like that. I'm honestly saying you make great music, and I want to hear more, and you really impressed me with this debut EP of yours, and I want more. Take your time though, no rush. But anyway, that's about going to wrap it up for this review. Friends and neighbors, do hope you enjoyed. Again, check that description for links to listen to this, and I will see you all next time. Tomorrow, game stream. Be there or be non-symmetrical or something, I don't know. Bye, everybody.